The United States government is getting super serious now, guys, because there's just news after news of them being uber bullish on cryptocurrencies. Justin from Watcher Guru. White House prepares executive order to find banks that discriminate against crypto companies and conservatives. Now, hey White House, hey Donald Trump, may I add a special request here? It's nothing too crazy, but I would like to say maybe you guys should prepare an executive order to find the SEC that is discriminating against crypto companies and certain crypto projects, digital assets. Shall we do that too or no? Well, I could think of one. The SEC obviously has a bias in not wanting to conclude the Ripple case, right? Because how long has it been going on for? A long time. They have literally concluded every other case known to mankind except the Ripple one. Why is that the case? But this is a beautiful step since it is in the right direction. Now the White House is going after all these banks that are discriminating against crypto companies. Guess what? Citibank debanked Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse due to crypto, exec says. Isn't this diabolical? This happened back in a while back ago, guys. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has personally been severed from a long-time banking relationship because he's a prominent figure in crypto, he told an audience in Washington on Wednesday. Quote, individuals within the crypto industry are being debanked, end quotes, he said at DC FinTech Week. I personally have been debanked, guys. Now, I remember there was like some Canadian truck stuff that happened a while back ago, right? And then their banks got frozen or something like that, guys. The same thing basically happened to Brad Garlinghouse. Imagine you're debanked, right? They're not allowing you to bank with a certain bank, guys, right? And it was Citibank here. Brad Garlinghouse tied his own experience to the wider trend in the NASDAQ industry that struggled to maintain banking ties, as regulators have cautioned institutions to limit their crypto involvement. That's why, right? They're scared supposedly about Brad Garlinghouse because he was involved in Ripple, right? He's involved with XRP, this XRP ecosystem, guys, XRPL, and they're like, we don't want you to be banking with us, right? So they declined Brad Garlinghouse. That's a crazy thing, though, right? Just imagine. That's just insane to even think about. What? Brad Garlinghouse later added in an interview with CoinDesk that the institution that cut him off recently was Citigroup, with which he'd been a customer for about 25 years. He said, "Oh wow, whoa, now that's crazy." So Brad Garlinghouse was with the Citibank for 25 years, a long-time customer, okay, and he probably didn't do anything shady with that, but they found out that he's the Ripple CEO that's involved with cryptos. They're like, hey, let's just remove him. Right? Let's not accept him as a client just because he's involved with cryptocurrencies, right? That's crazy. Imagine that was you. And he added that it's not the only personal banking relationship he's lost because of his role in crypto. Quote, they said you have 5 days to remove your money, end quote. He said they were actually super honest. They're like, look, you're a notable person in crypto, and having notable people in crypto and banking the crypto industry means more scrutiny from federal regulators. There it is. Right. So if this was now, guys, yeah, Citigroup, Citibank would be getting backlash for this, just because, again, the crypto president Donald Trump is trying to save cryptos in general, guys, right? So basically, the president is expected to sign an executive order as soon as this week that targets so-called debanking of businesses, including crypto companies, right, and personnels. So he's trying to pressure against the big banks, guys, that drop customers for political reasons. That's insane, huh? And Brad Garlinghouse was a victim of this, basically. I guess not any longer, right? Since we got Trump stepping up, guys. It was all due to Gary Gensler, right? Had led a reign of terror and accusing the United States Treasury Department and Banking Regulators Office of the Comptroller of the Currency of being hostile to the industry. The CEO was highly critical of President Joe Biden's administration in Washington. So that's why them bring upon Paul Atkins, which we already knew was pre-planned, right, a long time ago. We needed to have an antagonist, right? It's like a problem reaction solution. The problem was what? Gary Gensler, right? The reaction was the people, you and I. We were so fed up. We were like, we need a savior, because it seems like this person, right? The villain Gary Gensler is destroying cryptos, our industry. Then the solution was Donald Trump. Problem reaction solution. That's how it literally always works. Donald Trump brought upon Paul Atkins. He literally forcefully changed the SEC's tune to become bullish on cryptos, and they're forever going to stay like that, by the way, right? Because they have realized what cryptos are really about. No matter what happens, we are going to see a reset. That's what Brad Garlinghouse said. A reset of what? The SEC? That was completed, wasn't it? That's a very interesting thing he said. We have always talked about this. The reset comes back to the number 589, which I think is a collapse. We'll see that too. Like a double meaning, guys. Very interesting from Brad Garlinghouse here. Just imagine waking up one day and the bank tells you to, you gotta get out. Right? That's like your home. You have to get out. That's a crazy thing. So I'm glad that changed. Hey, Donald Trump is speaking tomorrow as well, by the way, at 8 a.m. ET from Squawk. Let's see what he has to say. Probably he's going to be talking about cryptos. But well, now, I don't even think he needs to do that. Maybe so. I don't know what other CEOs are going through. But since this entire crypto industry is just becoming more adopted by the United States now, since we got Donald Trump, I think the regulators or these banks are going to be more lenient, okay, with involving cryptos and stuff like that. So that's a beautiful part. That's another step towards everyone within America accepting cryptos, right, for what it is. That's so insane to me, because the banks, you know how shady they are, correct? But they went after Brad Garlinghouse, saying that, hey, we don't want to involve with cryptos because you know what the crypto industry has certain things attached to it, like certain names, right? But I'm pretty sure the TradFi system is way more fraudulent, shady than what cryptos are. Just throwing it out there. And the SEC case with Ripple. We got more news though from Bank XRP. CFTC acting chairman Caroline Pham announces initiative to launch trading of spot crypto asset contracts on CFTC registered futures exchange. Now, what is this? Wow, they're doing their big one with this week, guys. It seems like every week there's more news about cryptos. Just more news, huh? It's part of the agency's broader crypto sprint announced last week by acting chair. So basically, under President Trump's strong leadership and vision, the CFTC is full speed ahead on enabling immediate trading of digital assets at the federal level in coordination with the SEC's Project Crypto. There it is, right? It seems like at the federal level, so basically at the highest level, you could trade digital assets, okay? And I guess it's spot and not futures and not leverage trading, which gives people more confidence, number one, of cryptos, right? Because the CFTC is accepting this, the SEC is accepting cryptos, the White Houses, the United States governments, all this stuff, but more security as well, right? And then there's more transparency. There is a clear and simple solution the CFTC can implement now. Starting today, we invite all stakeholders to work with us on providing regulatory clarity on how to list spot crypto asset contracts on a DCM using our existing authority. As I've previously proposed since 2022, together we'll make America the crypto capital of the world. Wow. Okay, so it's listing spot crypto assets contracts. Okay, spot. Which is a beautiful thing because that means legit money, guys, right? Which legit inflows and less risk as well, because with leverage it will just be too crazy, too hectic. With spot, it's just a better thing for the overall market. So stand with crypto. Buy and launch tokens stress-free. Clear rules means you can buy, trade, and launch tokens without worrying. Incentives for decentralized blockchains. Mature blockchain systems will be classified as digital commodities and fall under CFTC oversight, reducing regulatory burden and increasing liquidity and access for investors. More market stability and liquidity, more institutional participation could reduce volatility and make it easier to trade and cash out when you want. Right, like we said, it's going to become more transparent, guys, because this is at the government level. Okay, how much news are just coming out and about? We got more news. Latest, South Korea passes major tokenized securities laws. Banks can now tokenize bonds, stocks, and private equity on blockchain. You guys see the difference between South Korea and America, for example? Right, how American banks were debanking certain people, right, certain CEOs that are involved with cryptos, not South Korea, because South Korea is already ahead of the curve, and they literally got laws, security laws in place that banks can now tokenize bonds, okay, TradFi's services, TradFi products such as bonds, stocks, and private equity. Imagine all that coming onto the blockchain. Imagine all that money. Right now, which blockchain will it be targeting? Right, which blockchain can handle all this stuff? In my opinion, it's XRPL, right, the XRP ledger, which due to all this news, we're going to keep moving higher, guys. Right, it's only inevitable that we're going to keep going higher. That is just my opinion here. Obviously, anything can happen, but there's just too much bullish news for Bitcoin not to reach 500K by the end of the cycle. Okay, maybe even 1 million, right? Because this is all before the money printer, and I think what's happening here is they're basically setting up the laws, right? The rails, so when the money printer starts, all this money can just flood in so massively, guys. It's gonna be ridiculous. Okay, the gate will be opened, the door will be opened for literally banks, companies, institutions, governments, all throughout the world will be ultra bullish on cryptos, which will send cryptos to heights never even realized. That's my opinion, and that's why I think we're seeing all these news before everything explodes. But not financial advice. What is that, Sophie's Mazes? See ya.